Beautiful North Vancouver. Look at those mountains.
There is this a philosophy I'm aware of. It might have even come from First Nations or Native American philosophy. I'm not 100% sure. But I find it to be very accurate and a very worthwhile way of understanding things. And it's called, I don't know what you would call it, but I would call it, uh, well, I'll just explain it. There is a white dog and a black dog. I think they call it a wolf, actually, but I just call it a dog. A white dog and a black dog. The white dog represents goodness, wholesome behavior, light, and things that are positive, all the good things in life. The black dog represents the darker things, fear, anger, negativity, things that are not so great in life. And the question is, which dog is going to thrive? The answer is the one that you feed. So that means, well, how do you feed this dog or this wolf? That means how you feed it is by what you allow into your life. If you choose negative things in your life, you're feeding the black dog. If you're choosing, like when I was a teenager, before I became a Christian, I used to listen to heavy metal, Metallica. I was a big Metallica fan. And I still like their music, but the music is quite negative, especially the earlier stuff like Kill 'Em All and Master of Puppets. And it affected me in a negative way. It was very passionate and powerful, but it affected me in a negative way emotionally. And as I became a Christian, I decided not to listen to it anymore because I think it was a negative musical form that I didn't want in my life. But that's one example. Or horror movies. I don't like horror movies. I don't watch horror movies because I don't think that they're a positive. They're not a positive force for good. They are negative, and they deal with fear and yeah, sure, it's just entertainment, but that's kind of the danger. Yes, it's entertainment. So what? You can be entertained by many different things. Choose to be entertained by something good, or at least not something to the detriment. Is not easy. I agree. It's not easy. But, whenever possible, immerse yourselves in things that feed the white dog, be it books, music, movies, people. People are a big one. Don't associate with negative people and people that. I read this thing today on Facebook that said, what did it say? Negative people always find a problem with every solution, something to that effect. And man, that's definitely true, And there's a person I work with who's quite negative, and every day there's something happening. The world is falling. Well, you can choose to see life that way, or you can choose to see that, there's a silver lining, there's a bright side of life, and focus on that. Feed the white dog. Because, if you, that's why I don't do drugs. I've never done any drugs. I never even smoked marijuana. I've always been a pretty straight person. And I don't really think there's that much wrong with smoking marijuana. Yes, they call it a gateway drug and all that stuff, but it's never been something that appeals to me because to me it's just inherently I'm feeding the black dog. It just doesn't feel right. And then now that I'm what you call maybe a quasi-Buddhist, Buddhists say that you don't want to cloud your mind with intoxicants, and you want to be clear-headed and clear-minded, and it's a better way to live. And I totally agree with that. But to me, that's another way of feeding the black dog. Feeding the black dog, you can also say, is giving into your carnal desires. You know, I believe in even though I'm not a Christian, um, you know, this other day, this person I know, I was telling him how I prefer to be single, and he's an older guy, and he goes, "Yeah, you can just go to a brothel. You can just go to a whorehouse." I go, "No, why would I do that?" Yes, you have, you know, desires and urges, but that doesn't mean you have to give in to them. You can try to live at a higher plane of existence. And I would never visit a lady of the night. It's not my style. And you know, people are different. I'm not judging others that do. It's just not for me. Um, but yeah, that is another example of, to me, feeding the black dog. Um, so if you want your life to be better and to be happy, don't feed the black dog, feed the white dog. And the more positive things in your life, the more positive people in your life, the better life you'll have. So they say that your environment, basically feeding the black dog and the white dog, is like your environment creates who you are, especially if you're young and impressionable. As you get older, I think that you are more likely to resist and not give in to peer pressure and things like that. But even still, it's still hard. And your environment creates who you are. If you take two people, say maybe even identical twins, and you put them in two different um, cultures, they're going to be greatly affected by the culture they grow up in. Burrito for dinner. Conclusion, it's good. There are two dogs within you, a black dog and a white dog. Which one wins? Which one is stronger? The one that you feed. Take care and good night.